Yeah, congratulations on the win. First, I want to ask you about the national anthem. Seemed very powerful when we watched it, seeing the woman kneel on the CN Tower. Did it feel that way in the arena as well?
Sure did, Doug. Man, it was awesome. Caught me by surprise. I think probably everybody probably has the same thing, and you were trying to figure out. Wait a minute, is that the CN Tower? And then it was, yeah, you saw what it was, and unbelievable rendition. I thought the camera and the shots of Toronto and all that stuff were I don't know, a little took your breath away a little bit. So it was pretty cool.
And as for the game, you had that first half. You guys were wonderful defensively and offensively. Was that kind of what you needed to see from your guys right out of the gate? I know it didn't sustain, but that's hard to sustain that level.
Yeah, Doug, I certainly really happy with how we came out. I think the physicality, the defense, the offense, everything was rolling, right? And you're right, it's an NBA game and a team that's been playing extremely well. They're going to make their run a little bit. I was certainly happy to see us kind of answer back once we kind of regrouped and got back to Garden. We kind of were able to open it up and put the game away. So, it's not necessarily style points don't count for much at this time of year, right? We're just really happy to get one done and know that they present us some problems. They showed us the problems they can present us. So we're just happy to get one done, and we'll try to get the next one when we can,
Thanks very much, Nick. Appreciate it.
You, Doug.
Going to go next to Mike Ganter from the Toronto Sun.
Hey, Nick, congrats on the win. Wanted to ask you, Doug kind of touched on this. When the defense did start to slip a bit, I mean, their offense was coming from completely different sources than you probably expected. Was that as much what was going on there as your own maybe slippage?
I don't know, Mike. I think they're pretty much gonna, obviously they've got Levert, handling up there, controlling a lot of the offense, and they're running some stuff for Harris, flying off screens. But the rest of them, it's very similar. The spacing, the driving, and kicking. It's gonna kind of end up where it ends up sometimes. And I think TLC had a heck of a game, right? And yeah. he was really good. And they did a good job there for a stretch. They were really driving, and they were really passing, and they were hitting the shots. They were playing really fast. They got some transition buckets. So I knew they were capable. They've been scoring like crazy down here in the bubble. So it didn't totally surprise me that they got going for a stretch.
And how important was Terrence in that little stretch there, getting you kind of going again?
Well, it was good. He showed some life. There's a few guys that obviously weren't with us a year ago, and we got to kind of find out what their playoff. We got to take their playoff temperature a little bit here and there, and I think he was great. He had a good attitude. Thought he showed some life, and then even at the end he showed some life. So, yep. Good little stretch for him.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, Mike.
Next, we got Michael Grange from Sportsnet.
Hey, Nick. Couple of questions. One, you guys got to line, I think, 33 times. Do you see that as a kind of a point of differentiation between the two teams? I mean, you play a sort of similar style, but the fact that you can maybe slow the game down, get to the rim, get to the line, is that something you're focusing on at all?
Well, we always try to, Michael. We always want to get to the free throw line, and we always want to try to attack, hard to the basket. So I think we did that tonight, especially early. I thought there was just one hard drive after another, which kind of got the ball rolling for most guys to start driving and stuff. I think there was a few post-ups. There was a few offensive rebounds as well. So, yeah, we will focus on it. I mean, don't want to change too much of what we're doing to focus on it, but we want to get to the rim.
Thanks. And it's crazy to nitpick. I mean, he scored 134 points, but that stretch in the third, I think he had maybe 22, and the ball seemed to stick a little. And was there something that you look at that 12-minute stretch and go, that's what we look like when we're not doing it right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just what you said. It was just a little, it was a little slow up the court. There was, I think, only 2 transition points that whole quarter, Michael. It just wasn't the pace and energy that we were playing with most of the game. Obviously, we put, I think close to 35 up the other quarters, didn't we? Somewhere, give or take a few points. So the other 3 quarters were great. There was the pace and the energy we wanted. In the third, it was a little bogged down, and I think that's the reason.
Great. I appreciate that, Nick. Thank you.
You're welcome, Michael.
I'm going to do 3 more questions. First one is from John Schumann from NBA.com.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Hi, John. I'm good.
You guys hit 22 threes tonight. I think Fred hit or assisted on 15 of the 22. What did you see with the looks you were getting from 3, whether you saw that, happening before the game?
Well, I think, Freddie hit him on some unders, John, a little bit. We set some ball screens, and they were going under, and Freddie's pretty good at stopping either on the other or right behind those and shooting or on the other side before it can go. And as far as the other ones, his assisted ones, he just made the right plays. Either throw aheads in transition or playing the screen and roll. He get into the paint and find the kick out. So, he was obviously stating the obvious there. He was awesome tonight. That's for sure.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
We go next to Josh Lewenberg from TSN.
Hey, Nick. Doc Vaughn was telling us before the game that one of the things he learned from Pop in San Antonio is how to keep a clear, fresh mind going into playoff games. I know you're even-keeled by nature. A lot of your players are as well. But with the experience of the last few years, is that one of the things that you've seen from your guys is going into games, playoff games, a little bit less tight, maybe a little bit looser than they used to be?
I wouldn't say they're less. I wouldn't say they're looser, Josh. I think there was a very serious group going out on the floor today. The locker room was pretty quiet. They were focused, and I think their play showed that. So now you got to handle. This is where it starts. You got to handle your successes, and you got to be able to bounce back from your failures. Right? You got to learn a lot, even though you won the game, because it's a long series. That maybe is where our composure and things comes in, even on non-game days, Josh, if that makes any sense.
Yep. Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
So we're going to do 2 more questions here. First one goes to Eric Corrine from The Athletic.
Hey, Nick. Congrats on the win. First possession of the fourth quarter, you guys just had the third quarter you had, and Kyle just with a super aggressive drive right at Tyler Johnson. Could have been an and one, was, 2 free throws. How comfortable or how used to just him making the right plays are you at this stage for the time and score and sort of tone of the game?
Well, he certainly does it a lot, and that was a big one, Eric. I mean, I think he set the tone for the fourth quarter there with that play. We obviously had the ball, so we talked about what to run out of the timeout, and he made a great read on the screen and roll, and just did his thing, barreled into the basket. You're right; it should have been an and one. Would have been a really nice and one to have, but it did set the tone. And yeah, he makes a lot of really good plays, man, both ends, Eric.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
And last question is going to go to Bruce Arthur from the Toronto Star.
Nick, Pascal seemed really happy with the shots he got today, and he talked about how his energy is much better than it was at the start of this process in the bubble, but he doesn't feel like he's just finishing at the rate that he'd like. What are you seeing of that offensive game, and is he getting closer to the guy that you've had before the bubble started?
Yeah, I mean, I think Bruce is he's absorbing a lot of contact right now. I think he should be shooting a few more free throws. The way he's getting by people and putting his body on them, and they're putting their body on him, and they're hitting him a lot. But he's going to have to evidently play through more contact because he is absorbing some physicality, I think. He's got shots all over the place, Bruce. He really does. He's got the 3 ball whenever he wants it. They seem most teams seem pretty content to go under him and give him that stuff. You know, probably rightly so, because you know they think the cushion with the drive and all that stuff. But he's getting to some spots. He's going to score some baskets in the series. He's going to have to pass the ball some too. He's going to have to make the right plays when he draws multiple defenders. I think playing through the physicalities of the main thing, though.
Just a quick follow-up. How much did you see his energy kind of rise from the beginning to now?
I think he looks good, Bruce. I think that I think he's energetic and he's ready to go. I don't really know if I'm comparing it to the first part. I think just motivation in general is a little hard from the scrimmages and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he looks bouncy and ready, and he's playing defense. So we're happy.